And welcome to The Balancing Act. I'm Olga Villaverdi.
And I'm Monto Williams. Today, how one company is committed to changing obesity.
Plus technology that's improving patient outcome when it comes to pelvic organ prolapse surgeries.
And Chef Ralph's in the house. Ralphie boy!
Oh yeah, you're making me hungry, baby. Jamaican-style patties are on the menu.
Oh, I love it when he's here. The Balancing Act starts
right now.
Did you know obesity is not solely the result of a person's lifestyle and habits? People with obesity typically make 7 serious attempts to lose weight over time. And not gaining weight is just as important as losing it. Weight loss requires patience, lots of patience. Americans spend millions of dollars on diets, surgical procedures, medications, fitness programs, but healthcare providers say there's no quick fix for obesity. Today, an in-depth look at obesity, and joining me virtually is Dr. Deborah Horn, Medical Director of the Center for Obesity Medicine and Metabolic Performance at the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston Medical School. We're also going to introduce you to Lisa Singleton, who's been living with obesity for many years. Doctor, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Olga.
Doctor, let's first talk about just obesity. I mean, there's more to it than meets the eye. Let's start with first the clinical definition, if you will, and some important statistics for our viewers.
Sure. So we use the body mass index, or BMI, to define obesity. And if you have a BMI over 30, greater than or equal to 30, you're classified as having obesity. In the U.S., that's about 1 in every 3 individuals. And we have another 100 million individuals in the U.S. that are struggling with their weight, even if they aren't classified into that category. So we think of it as a serious, chronic, progressive disease. What's interesting about that is most people don't realize that obesity is associated with 237 other medical conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. And when you put all these together, it's driving a very high cost in America. So not only is obesity really prevalent in the U.S., it's really impacting so many of the disease states.
So is it fair to say that reaching and maintaining a healthy weight can really help improve or even prevent many medical conditions, as well as even just improving one's overall health, doctor?
It's true. We have clear data, Olga, that shows us that even small weight changes, like 5%. So if you were to weigh 300 pounds, that's 15 pounds lower in weight, can improve your blood pressure, can improve your cholesterol. If we expand that range to losing 5 to 10% of weight, we can make improvements in cardiovascular disease, diabetes, arthritis. Wow. So losing weight isn't just about the number on the scale. It's about impacting all of those diseases and really our quality of life.
And doctor, I think you'll agree that weight loss requires patience and a dedicated plan, but small steps can make a huge difference, like you just said. We're going to talk about that in just a bit, but first, I want to introduce a very special woman. Her name is Lisa Singleton. Let's hear her story.
Growing up, I didn't know what obesity was. When my mother passed, when we realized what her cause of death, and it was, her diabetes and other contributing factors to obesity, because she was labeled obese, it hurt. Still didn't understand, couldn't grasp it until those things started happening to me. So that was when I started to be an advocate for myself. And it was hard. It's hard. It was a journey, going through 5, maybe 6 physicians to somebody who was willing to help me with my weight. I had got up to almost, by that time, it was like 240. The main factor was that I wanted to live for my child, and now for my grandkids. So we had to make that change. Something had to be done, and it had to start with me. The one thing that you can't do is give up on finding that right practitioner, and you have to search, and you have to feel good about it, and you have to know that you're getting the help that you desire and that you need for your own self. Once you find that, you stay on that road, you take all the bumps. It's just like a road, it's a bumpy road, but the results are gonna be so well worth it, so well worth it. Trust me.
Lisa is not your patient, doctor, but does her story sound familiar, especially the difficulty in finding the right help, a qualified doctor that right now she says she's not even going to let go?
It is so familiar and so common. It's really important for our patients struggling with obesity to find the healthcare providers that can give them those resources they need. There's real struggles around getting care for obesity. We have cravings and weight cycling symptoms that make it hard for us to keep the weight off. We're going to talk about things like metabolic adaptation. That makes it hard to keep the weight off. And then even more interesting things like bias. Patients struggling with obesity really feel both internal and external bias, blame and shame around their disease, because we haven't always talked about the fact that it's a disease. It's physiology. It's not something that our patients have complete control over. And I think it's really important because it can be incredibly frustrating for patients when they're struggling with keeping weight off when they've been successful, even to a small degree. And having a team around you to support you and give you the right tools makes a tremendous difference.
Why is it so hard to then lose the weight and keep it off?
Two things happen. Our metabolism, which is the number of calories that you and I burn just hanging out being us, starts to down-regulate. And that's our body's defense mechanism to try to push our weight back up. In addition to that metabolic change, the other thing that we see is hormones in our body that affect the appetite control center in our brain that tell us whether we're hungry or full, start to up and down regulate in ways to make us feel more hungry, to push us towards gaining weight again. And that's sort of a tug of war that we see all the time. The patient trying to do their best with best intentions around nutrition and physical activity, and their body fighting back at a level that they can't control.
And let's hear more about that tug of war from Lisa. Here she is.
I don't think anyone can do this journey by themselves. I don't think anyone can. I walk 5 miles a day, every day. I don't do diets. I eat healthy. I drink a gallon of water. At least I try to do that 2 to 3 times a week. I didn't do this to, look like a supermodel. I wanted to be healthy and live. I'm coming.
No doubt, it sounds like managing obesity cannot be a short-term solution. There needs to be more of a long-term weight management plan, but it can be done. I mean, just look at Lisa.
Every patient deserves a team of specialists helping them, and it's really crucial that they have that team in place to help them find those success variables that they can control and some additional tools in the toolbox that they might not be aware of. We have medications to interrupt those signals in their body that's trying to push their weight back up and help them keep that weight off long term. So in addition to great nutrition, physical activity, monitoring stress, getting great sleep, we can put anti-obesity medications on board to support our patients to get their physiology to get back on track.
Doctor, thank you so much for your time and such valuable information.
Thank you for having me. And if I could just encourage all of the individuals struggling with obesity and my colleagues, treat your obesity. Treat early, treat often, treat always.
Thank you so much, Doctor. And before we say goodbye, final thoughts from Lisa. Take a listen.
There are treatment options out there: behavioral modification, diet, exercise, eating right, prescription medication. These tools can help you, but you have to know what's best for you. I'm very passionate about life and living and staying active. I love being, a biker chick and riding. I also love that I can hang with my 2-year-old grandchildren, and that is just a blessing itself to be able to do that and feel good about it. I'm living my best life right now.
And I want to thank Lisa, wish her well. And by the way, for more information, visit truthaboutweight.com or just go to our website, thebalancingact.com. We'll be right back.
many, if not all of you, have heard horror stories from women who have suffered from vaginal mesh complications following pelvic organ prolapse surgery. And today, we're going to learn more about what pelvic organ prolapse is and the advances in treating this condition affecting thousands of women each year. Now, joining us today virtually are urogynecologist Dr. Alan D. Garley, Department Chair of Obstetrics and Gynecology at Mount Sinai South Nassau, and Patty Gary, Vice President of Clinical Affairs at TRX Biosurgery. And with me in studio is Mr. Robert Greer, President and Founder of ARMS Medical. Welcome to you all. Thank you so much, sir, for being here today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, doctor, starting with you, can you tell us what is pelvic organ prolapse?
Montel, every woman has muscles that keep their vagina, rectum, and bladder in place, in normal position. If those muscles become weak or they become stretched or damaged, then a woman develops what's called a prolapse. And that prolapse can affect the bladder, the vagina, or the rectum. Symptoms that are associated with these types of prolapses include incontinence, where women leak urine if they cough, laugh, or sneeze, or when they have to run to the bathroom and can't make it, or if the vagina turns inside out, like a hernia.
Wow, now who does this affect?
About 1 in 3 women who have given birth vaginally ultimately will end up with a prolapse, but in a population of women under 40, about 25%, and women under 50, almost half the women are affected by pelvic organ prolapse. Most women, however, don't know that they need to seek treatment or that there's help available for them.
So, doctor, what causes pelvic organ prolapse?
Montel, all women have muscles that keep their pelvic floor in one position. What that means is that these muscles keep the bladder in the right spot, the vagina in the right spot, and the rectum in the right spot. If those muscles become stretched or injured or damaged, then the bladder, the vagina, and the rectum can move out of position. And the best way to think about it is if the vagina is like a pocket, and you put your hand in your pocket and pull your pocket inside out, that's what we're talking about in terms of a prolapse. And those prolapses affect function too.
So, Rob, just how does your company help women suffering from pelvic floor prolapse?
Montel, our mission at ARMS Medical is to provide surgeons safe and effective solutions to treat women with pelvic organ prolapse. DermaPure and the pre-cut shapes of VNEW are innovative human biologics that utilize a dCeLL technology. The surgeon will implant these products to replace, reconstruct, and restore the patient's damaged tissue.
Patty, as the VP of Clinical Affairs at TRX Biosurgery, can you explain a little bit how dCeLL technology works?
So dCeLL technology actually originated at the University of Leeds in the UK, and it was first used on aortic heart valve replacements. And so unlike alternative processes, dCeLL technology removes greater than 99% of the DNA. That's the donor DNA, yet it doesn't damage the structure. This is very important for the patient who's receiving DermaPure or the soon-to-be launched VNEW because it stimulates the patient's own cells. So it impacts healing and it promotes regeneration.
So now, Patty, I understand that you also suffered from pelvic organ prolapse. And before surgery, what were your symptoms?
I had increasing pain and pressure bulging into my vaginal cavity, issues with elimination, both bowel and bladder, and consequently both of those led to some insecurities with intimacy.
Wow. Thanks so much for sharing. And doctor, now you performed hundreds of these surgeries. What can women expect?
The purpose of reconstructive surgery is to restore women back to a normal quality of life. Period. We want people to be able to engage in all of the activities that they were unable to engage in when they were suffering from this problem. That includes normal sexual function, normal bowel and urinary habits, and also the ability to re-engage in their community without having to worry.
Now, Patty, you took action to fix your prolapse. Where should women start in seeking treatment?
I wanted a surgeon that was board certified in female pelvic medicine. And number 2, I wanted them to be familiar and using a product with dCeLL technology.
Wow. Now, how are you doing now?
I'm back to leading a very full and active life. And, to the ladies out there listening, I would say, don't suffer. There are solutions. Seek treatment. This isn't something that, as a woman, we just need to deal with.
What has been the reaction to DermaPure and VNEW?
It's been amazing the past 4 years, and the fact that it has helped over 3,000 ladies with no complications.
So, Doc?
The most important thing for us in reconstructive surgery is to make sure that we are not harming our patients. And we know because of the safety and efficacy profiles of dermal grafts that they're safe. And we use them on our most complicated cases.
Thank you all so much for being here and sharing this information today.
Well, thank you for having us today.
Thank you very much.
And you know, if people want more information, where can they go?
They can go to the website, armsmedical.com.
If you want more information, you can always go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
So anyone who's traveled to the Caribbean knows just how mouth-watering their beef or veggie patties can be.
Luckily, there's no need to get on the plane because Ralph is here to show us just how easy it is to enjoy these delicious treats.
Jamaican-style patties are a delicious and easy meal option. So popular in the Caribbean, you can now literally heat and eat them right in your own home. Here, I have the 3 most popular flavors: Jamaican-style spicy beef patties, mild beef patties, and beefy cheese patties. Luckily, Caribbean Food Delights has created these tasty treats made up of all these incredible, fantastic ingredients. How's onions, scallions, my favorite Caribbean pepper, the Scotch bonnet, fresh thyme, and this dough that is so flaky and delicious, all the work is done for me. While these may be similar to turnovers or empanadas, these little treats are uniquely Caribbean. These are actually the first microwavable Jamaican-style patties. Better quality and taste, and filled with more meat than other brands. They fit right in your hand, so they're easy on the go. In fact, kids in the West Indies, they often have these for lunch or after school snacks. Now all kids, including us big ones, can enjoy them stateside. Check it out. Pop it in the microwave in this cool microwavable pack that it comes in. It's ready to go. I'm using cocoa bread from their affiliate, Royal Caribbean Bakery, to make a complete meal: protein, fat, and carbs. Gonna slide out my beef patty. And if that wasn't just enough deliciousness for me, I'm gonna add a little bit of arugula on top of it. I can't help myself. A little fresh tomato. I like the tomatoes when they're nice. Gonna put this cocoa bread right on top. Oh, I'm gonna get to you in a second. All right, now check this out. I've got a complete meal right now. I've got the arugula, the tomato, the cocoa bread, and the star of the show, the beef patty, right? That's what it's all about. And if you're looking for a more budget-friendly and quick and convenient idea, you can't find one easier than this. How about these little cocktail patties right here? These patties are great for parties. You just heat them in the oven. You got the meat ones right there, and your little habanero ketchup, really gonna flavor your party. Oh, how about something different that you've never had before? How about this oxtail seasoned with their oxtail seasoning? Plus, these guys have it all. They got spices, a jerk hickory barbecue sauce, the festival and dumpling mix. And if you haven't had the festival of dumpling, you're going to love it when you get it. Vincent and Jeanette Hosang humbly started this business back in the Boogie Down Bronx in 1978. And now this company is the largest Jamaican frozen food manufacturer in the USA. That's what I'm talking about. You can read about their American dream success story in their book, Change of Fortune. You know, and all these CFD products are available at stores like this. Grab a pen. Walmart, Sam's Club, BJ's, Costco, Price Right, Publix, Winn-Dixie, Harris Teeter supermarkets, local grocery stores, and commissaries worldwide. If you can't find them, you ain't looking, baby. And for more information, go to CaribbeanFoodDelights.com or visit our website, thebalancingact.com. Now remember, this has been a quick bite. But chew slowly. Wow, that's good.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
And remember to head to our Facebook page and our website and follow us on Twitter.
And you know what you got to do. Be safe. Love that family of yours. We'll see you next time.